episode 13, I believe it is. Yes, I am gonna do a live recap with everyone who joins. I hope you guys had an amazing day so far. Okay, so it's my tripod leaning to the back. All right, let's see. I'm also gonna add a background because I just don't like this. Let's see. All right, we're gonna talk about our couples, all of our couples today. Let me see. I'm also gonna dual live this for everybody. All right, well, if I can find the app, we will. Welcome in. We're talking all things married at first sight. I am dual streaming, so let me actually do my job and make sure that I get it up on the other stream on the other side. I'm not used to dual streaming. I never really do it much. So hopefully this works. Welcome into everybody watching. We're talking all things married at first sight. Let me see. Yeah, luckily we found it. Okay, we're all set up now. Let's get into it. All right, episode 13 is where we have the group dates, I guess, or group whatever they're trying to do on this episode. And I thought it was a hot mess. I am so glad that Courtney and Nick decided to leave, y'all. I don't know what to do with myself. The two of them stress me out. Courtney does not need to be with Nick. Nick don't need to be with Courtney, and we need to move on from that because that was awful. The two of them together never should have been paired. Episode 13, if you guys watched it, let me know what you think. I am setting up our other camera. There we go. Let me share this live out to our people. For everybody in here, what did y'all think about episodes, 13, 14, and 15 if you watched all of them? Welcome to the live chat, everybody. Welcome. I thought 14 and I probably thought 13 was probably the best out of the newest releases that we had from Married at First Sight. I didn't think that they were bad at all. Courtney and Nick, that needed to happen. Absolutely. I'm gonna stand beside it. The other couple that needed to go, in my opinion, I agree, should have been Felipe and Tori. I don't think Tori deserves what she's getting in this relationship. I think she can do better. I think Felipe plays games, and the experts knew he played games because they turned around and after knowing that this man was late to all of their sessions, let him get married. Why would they do that? Like, where they do that at? You don't even show up on time to the stuff you're supposed to do to get into the process. Why would you be a dependable husband? Welcome in, everybody. Hey. I feel like too, another couple that I don't like them together is Adam and Marissa. I'm gonna be honest about Adam and Marissa because I feel like the truth can set you free. Maybe they will see this, maybe they won't. I don't know, but I feel like Adam and Marissa need to break up. Adam does not hear her. He does not want to hear her. Adam is interested in hearing himself and only himself. And thank you so much, Spartan. How are you? And that's the thing. These couples had great potential. I do think that they could have been compatible. However, the choice was you either stay quiet for Adam and let it slide, or you have to like interject yourself and argue over him, because Adam didn't come to listen to Marissa. He just didn't. Hey, Vina, I'm so glad you caught up too, friend. So we've seen 13, 14, and 15. And I told y'all this season was going to be a mess before we even started Married at First Sight, because looking at the cast, you can see it. Look at Baby Braids. What about Baby Braids says that this man is healed, okay? Baby Braids is not healed, okay? Jet ski and pickleball is not healed, okay? Welcome in, everybody. Also, I want to let y'all know, hunchback Brazilian is not healed. All of these people need to go to therapy. They on the wrong show. They at Married at First Sight, and I need them to be at Therapy at First Sight. If I could hire them, some therapists, I would. Every single one of them, baby. Every single one of them. Tori, if for nothing else, I want that girl to deflate what's going on here. I'm kind of mad at Tori for having all of that going on here. And she's gorgeous, but I don't know why she did that to her face. Let's start at the top of the episode, or you know what? I'm gonna let y'all choose. So for everybody in the chat, drop down in the chat. Let me know which couple you want to start with this episode. Which couple this episode do you guys want to start with from episode 13? We're gonna probably only get through 13, to be honest with you. You know how we run our mouth. Hey, Barbie. Tori and I think you mean Tori and Felipe. Tori and the cheater, Devin. I like Devin. How do y'all feel about Devin? Because I really like Devin. I think he's a good time. So y'all want to start with Tori and Felipe? Hey, welcome in, bae. Yeah, I spent the day yesterday binge watching this. So I wanted to make sure I got through all of them before I gave any type of videos, and I'm slowly trickling them to YouTube. So for everybody in here as well, make sure, thank you for the love over here, guys. Can you guys, if you don't mind, I'm on YouTube live streaming, right? And so we're dual streaming right now, and I am paying attention to the chat over here, and I'm paying attention to you guys, of course, too. Can you guys, if you're watching from home, if you have another device, put me on the iPad, put me on the TV, wherever. This counts as streaming hours. So we're trying to hit 4,000 hours before January 1st. And so that makes it easy for us to get into the partner program. If y'all don't know, starting February 1st, if you do not hit your 4,000 streaming hours, That's So Trending, same as here. So if you type in That's So Trending into the search, you can find me on your TV and like mute me there, but that way you don't have to worry about it. You can stay on your phone, or you can just join from your phone over there. This counts towards streaming hours. If you guys are content creators and you are interested in getting your hours, please start now. I cannot say that enough. I started right in the smack dab in the middle of Love Island season on YouTube, and I didn't have a lot of time to put out long form content because I was on the live every single day with y'all. So I kind of regret that, but it's okay. We're going to get to those 4,000 hours through a little bit of videos, and then also, hold on, let me clear this off, through using our lives over there. So guys, make sure that you guys are on both if you can, or if you have to choose one, go over to YouTube. You can still get into the comments. Actually, if somebody's in here, well, I know people are in here. Can y'all send me a comment? Because I haven't seen a single comment come in over here, but I know y'all are here because I see y'all coming in. I just don't know why I don't see your comments. Hey, Porter, welcome. Okay, thank you, baby. Thank you so much. Okay, because people be acting like they scared to interact. Hey, Nicholas, welcome in. Oh, you on both, Leah? Let's go. Let's go. Okay. Yes, they do. So that's why I'm dual streaming on both, is because it counts. So if you guys are content creators, get on your lives. I don't know why you're wasting time. Get on your lives, talk to the people. Hey, Leah girl. And that counts as streaming hours. So if I stream here for, I don't know what the limit is on YouTube, but if I do 10 hours and there's 6 people in the room, that's 60 watch hours. It is so easy to get them as long as you guys, and I know my community will support and like play it in the background while you guys are cleaning the house or turn it off and mute it. But as long as I'm on here, um, it allows you to, oh yeah, it allows me to get the hours for this. Okay, China, welcome over to the other side. Let's start in with Felipe and Tori, because I haven't heard any objections to starting with them, and you guys said on TikTok you wanted to start with them. So I'm gonna start with Felipe and Tori. In episode 13, we see that we having the same issue. I can't stress to you enough that Tori is a beautiful woman. I absolutely do believe that she is secure in herself, but I never want any woman in this room to be so secure that you let a man sit in your face and tell you, like verbatim, I miss getting in other wet spots and holes because yours just ain't enough for me. That's what I heard him say. I don't know what y'all heard him say, but that's what I heard him say. Okay. I don't want your hole. I want everybody else's hole. And because of that, I just, you gonna have to see me out the door. Okay. I love a secure woman, but that is not secure to me. And that is actually him shaming her in some ways to me. Yes. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. I don't know. And I think that the disrespect shouldn't have to be tolerated. There is nothing okay, y'all tell me what's special about Felipe that she should have to put up with a cheating husband. What's so special about Felipe that she should have to hear, hey, I don't know if I can do this whole monogamy thing. Literally, I cannot get exactly, China. It's nothing special. It is just him offering her lip service and a husband on her arm. And girl, I will step in and be your husband before I let you go out dirty like that. I just can't have it. I'll watch your dog. If that's what you need a husband for, like, you don't have to put up with this. No female deserves what she's getting from Felipe. This Felipe and Tori, I just put this picture out because I thought it was beautiful. I was doing some video editing, so I was like, let me put this up. I talk about settling. I think her walking out the room after they hooked up caused him to spiral out of fear. So, Nicholas, let's talk about it. In context to episode 13, we don't really get a lot from Felipe. Here's what I think happened with Felipe. To be honest with you, I do believe that the connection grew for both of them in that moment. However, Tori is differentiated enough, like mentally, to say, you know what, I'm tripping. I slept on this couch last night to avoid intimacy or to avoid falling for my husband. And that's exactly what I came here for. Let me course correct because I messed up. And she's differentiated and smart enough and wise enough to say that. And so she went back in the room with him. However, Felipe got more intimate with her. He started to fall for her. And in his I don't know what that is, but whatever it is said, oh, we can't do that. We can't do that. We can't have you out here knowing what real love looks like and feels like and having just one woman. You got to go back on the prowl. You're going to get comfortable here and it's too much security. You're used to having to chase, be rejected, and like she's showing you affection. Like that's too much. You came, you saw, you conquered. Now you got to go. I do believe that there's something to be said about people who feel the constant need to chase. I do. I think that it says something about your inability to see yourself as lovable and somebody who's worth investing in. And I do think that Felipe is more insecure than he lets on. I know he keeps talking about how he went through a glow up. I ain't seen it yet. But anyways, he says he went through a glow up, so I'm gonna let him have it. And he said that he got more attractive, so all the women wanted him. I wonder if he still, in his mind, can't get over however he looked before this. He probably looked the same, y'all. I don't know. But he is not fine enough to talk to Tori like this. He's really, really not. Oh yeah, Felipe said he went through he used to be ugly, then he lost weight or something like that. I can't remember. If y'all remember how he said it in the episode, drop down in the chat and let me know. Do y'all remember exactly what he said? I think he said I lost weight. I got in the gym, started working on myself, and now all the hoes want me basically. He turned into Mike Jones on us. If the glow up, if that's a glow up, I hate to see what it looked like before, baby. Me too. Me too. It must have been a sight for sore eyes. That man, that man. Oh, he showed y'all a pic, Osa. That man is something. That man is something. Um, Went to the gym and whitened his teeth. Girl, that ain't enough. Welcome in, Prince. Welcome in, everybody. The key factor is though, Felipe ain't fine enough to talk to Tori the way he talked to her. And she's too secure for me because I need her to pack her things. Any man that disrespects you in a room full of people like that and questions you after y'all have been intimate, girl, we're done. Tori, we're done. And that's no shade. It was something about his teeth. Yeah, they did. They said he whitened his teeth. If that's a glow up. So Tori and her friend are on the phone. And I love this conversation. These are the things that I want to see on my television to give me more insight on the couples, okay? Tori was talking to her friend or her sister, I'm not sure who it was, but she said, the man doesn't do anything for himself. I wouldn't even leave my dog with him. I would find a sitter. I would pay somebody. His mom's cat is there. And did y'all notice that she was cat sitting and not Felipe? Okay, because that I think is also very telling. The mama don't even trust him with the cat, baby. The mama don't trust that man with the cat. And that tells me what I need to know. It tells me that they know he lacks a sense of urgency, responsibility, and respect for their things. But she also said that his dad gave him his first job. If you guys don't know anything about that, I know of a few people who have worked for their parents, and the sense of entitlement that they have is a different level. When you are used to working for people who will fire you for the slightest things, you show up different in the world, right? When you've worked for your parents and all they do, the Nepo baby mentality, exactly, Miss Kennard. It changes how you see the value of work, the value of a dollar, the value of hard work to get to the next level, because you're going to be elevated regardless. He knows that when his parents get old and they're in their 60s and 70s and 80s, they're not going to want to do this anymore. And that restaurant is going to belong to him regardless. Now, me, if I'm working there, I know I got to stay back extra hours. I know I got to be the first one in and the last one out. I know I got to document everything correctly. I can't mess up and not greet a customer. I have to show up differently than Felipe. That's what she means when she says he's a mama's boy and she does everything for him. Life is so much easier when you work for your parents. I'm trying to tell y'all. His apartment is spectacular. And listen, if my mother lived near me, I would expect her to do the same. But it doesn't mean I'm not able to do it for myself. And I think that that's the difference. She feels like he couldn't do it because he's never had to. And that makes her concerned, and it makes me concerned. I just put out a video. I don't know if y'all saw my video on TikTok. I put out a video saying that I believe that really what she's craving is a sense of responsibility from him. She wants him to take responsibility and initiative in the marriage. Because if y'all listen to the end of what she said to him later on in the conversation, she brought it back to the point that I need you to pick up some of the slack around the house and not leave trash out. That's a whole different discussion, and I want to go there, so I am. You nasty. That's what I'm hearing from her. If it wasn't from your mother or for your mother and father, you would live in filth. And you're expecting her to mother you. That's disgusting. Okay? That is nasty. And I would not have space or time for that. you need a sense of urgency from your partner sometimes. Okay, I've talked to y'all about the trash analogy for me, like how living with someone is just annoying anyways, because I would rather be late to work than to not take the trash out. And some people are like, I gotta be on time to work, just leave the trash in until after. And the smell, if I come home to a smell, I'm upset. Can you imagine living with a man who doesn't even take the initiative either way? And you got to tell him, can you not leave trash out for me to pick up later? Absolutely. She wants him to be an adult. And he's not an adult. I do want him to grow up. I want Felipe to do better. And I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. White presenting men, even when they're ethically not, get a lot more grace, because the amount of women who have come into my comments to terrorize and or bully and harass Mecca or Sean, y'all, I don't see the same energy. Keep the energy the same for these weirdos. Okay, we got Ted Bundy over here with the axes in the room and the homeless man that he lives with that may or may not be his partner, but we not going in on them. But every opportunity we get, we go in on these black men. We call them feminine. We call them all types of things. I've even had to delete comments where people were starting to call Sean the R word. That's what we're not gonna do. We're not going to do that to black men. We can call the behavior what it is without having to dream up scenarios. Okay? If we're going to do anything, we're going to stay in the facts and the behaviors that we can observe, and we're going to stay in the present. We don't have to call anybody anything that they did not actually do. So let's not do that. Felipe is Felipe, I don't want to laugh because it's not funny on Tori's sake, but I will laugh at Felipe because he's an absolute joke. Felipe is a joke. And I think that, hey, welcome in, Doreen. Oh, guys, Doreen just came in. She reminded me, if you guys are not already following me on YouTube, make sure you do that. I've been putting up long form videos. Have y'all been watching? I've been doing my recaps on the last 3 episodes. One just came out at noon today, and I'm going to put another one up for noon tomorrow. I got to record it and edit it and put it up, but I'll have it up. Those reaction videos are a lot longer, but I do go into depth on all the scenes, like with my first reactions. Here we just chit chat with each other, but each and every one of them, yes, China, thank you, boo. Those also count towards my watch hours. But when y'all just watch my shorts, I don't know if y'all know this, but when y'all watch my shorts and you don't watch my long form content, I don't get credit for those. So it has to be long form. And so if y'all put them on at night and just mute them, that helps. It still counts towards it, but not my shorts. So, but anyways, guys, I'm live over on YouTube. If you go to my page, you can join me live there. I am going to go live after the Love Island reunion at 11 p.m. on YouTube. If you guys are wanting to come in and get my first reactions to it, I'll be on YouTube doing a recap after the Love Island reunion goes off. Anywho, now back to it. We are talking about Tori and Felipe, right? She tells him, I need you. Well, this is a later scene, but she tells him, I need you to do these things, okay? I need to trust you. But also, you haven't been curious about me. And I will say this, I will give Felipe credit, because I always give credit where credit is due, okay? On Married at First Sight. Felipe takes that very well. It is a very harsh criticism to hear that your husband doesn't care about you, but does it feel true? Yes. It does feel like Felipe don't ask her nothing about herself. It do feel like Felipe is just another version of Adam. And I don't think that Felipe does enough. He just don't. And she's sitting over here, looking how she look, next to him. And I think that's also on her. I think that she needs to walk away from this marriage at this point, because he doesn't ask her about herself. He doesn't seem to be interested in her wants, needs, and desires, because he loves the version of Tori that he's created in his mind. Interesting. But can I be honest with you? I think he knows he's gonna say no. I actually don't think he's ever been 100% yes, and I think he knows he's going to say no. What do y'all think? I don't think Felipe is gonna say yes on decision day. And I know she bet not say yes. She bet not. I bet not hear no yeah, huh, none of that. It needs to start with the end. And I don't think that Felipe is ready to be a husband to her. I just don't. I think she's going to end up raising a child. Um, I don't know. I don't know, Florida. I don't know if she isn't. Because she sat here all this time and she's just let it go. Like, I don't know if she's gonna say no. I hope she says no. She's just ready to accept whoever. Yeah, I don't know. Tori, I just need her to say no. I don't know. Now when it comes down to that conversation, he handled it very well. He heard her out. He was like, I thought I was being a good husband. And that tells me he does not know what a husband looks like. If How did Felipe think he was being a good husband to Tori? I think she's strong enough for a no too. I think she's strong enough, but I don't know what she's gonna say. And so decision day is up in the air. Did I forget to talk about anything with Felipe and Tori, y'all? Did I forget anything from their two scenes? Because they only had about two scenes this whole entire episode 13. Because yeah, they do have the couples therapy session, but it starts with Courtney and Nick. Okay, the next couple I guess we can talk about is Belle and Mecca. Because I thought their conversation was really good this episode. Or maybe we should talk about Devin and Caitlin. I think somebody said Devin and Caitlin first, right? We should talk about Devin and Caitlin first. Chats. Devin and Caitlin, or are we feeling Belle and Mecca next? No, 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 not Devin and Caitlin. Okay. Not Devin and Caitlin. The latest one is episode 15. We're talking about Belle and Mecca. Okay. So we're going to keep it on episode 13 for Married at First Sight, okay? We're not going to go into 14 or 15. We're just going to do 13. Did you? No, I didn't. I don't look at these people's pages today. I only went on their Instagrams to find photos to use for my photo. Like, I needed photos to use for my video, but that's the only thing you're going to see me do. I'm not, and I repeat, I am not going on anybody's Instagram pages to watch anything. I'm busy. I am busy. I do not. Like, why are you not protecting her in the literal sense and her feelings in every room you're in? Who are you talking about, C? Which couple are you talking about? Because I'm curious about who that is. Oh, Mecca. You know what's funny? And maybe this is why I have grace for these people. I've told y'all, I have been around the world. I have been many places in my life and time. And I've seen people that act like Logic. I've seen people that act like Mecca. I'm probably Sean in real life. And I've probably dated a guy like Mecca. You think it's on purpose that Mecca is self-sabotaging Nicholas. So I don't think it's on purpose. What I will say is there are so many pains that people have that God knows it would be a hard cross to bear if we really had to go back in time and deal with what they deal with. Like, I mean, a lot of people will find it, and this is part of empathy, and y'all know how I feel about it. Until it's you peeing on yourself because your daddy is about to whoop you, I don't think you can imagine how that feels. To have step siblings that get normal childhoods, or what we consider normal in, like, the 2010s, right? To have that kind of childhood in your face, and then you got your daddy being your daddy. And then with his outward personality, I think I have a strong sense of compassion for all of these people because I know they come with a story. When I hear her say I had to eat toothpaste, that's a story. And I would love to have sat in that room with her and really dug in there, because there's also, poverty is a traumatic experience. For people who have lived it, you know, praying for food, depending on the line at the food bank, you know, and your mama got to get there first thing in the morning. She's not in the mood because if you don't get there early, you don't get food to take home. You know, you out here just praying that God make a way for your light bill to get paid at the end of the month. Like, and you got she has 5 kids, y'all. Not 1, not 2, not 3. She got 5 kids that she is worried about and praying about every single day. Living in poverty is expensive. It is also very traumatic. And it is emotionally just exhausting. Welcome in, Bree. Hey, bestie. I cannot imagine for Belle how that must have felt. But I also can't imagine for her mother how that must have felt to see your kids be hungry and not have enough. Welcome in. Oh, God, Bree, join me over on YouTube. We're trying to get our watch hours. Join me over there on your TV or a secondary device, or if you just want to go over, that's fine. So when I see them, I'm not mad at Mecca. Now, I actually think there's so much to learn, and I think that there's so much that he needs to give himself grace for, because I don't even think he realizes that he doesn't. I hope Belle remembers who she is. She's that girl. And I don't think he's ever going to take that away from her. And I think she's been very clear in her confessionals that she is that girl. What I think is happening happens a lot in relationships, even in the small way. I think when you say like Mecca needs to protect her in all rooms, Mecca doesn't even protect himself. If you think about it, he didn't even stand up to his daddy for talking down to him. No, I didn't. What are you talking about, Brianna? What you talking about? um, I just feel like he doesn't protect himself, so how would he know what protection looks like? His daddy don't cover him. How would he know how to cover another person? Um, and so when you change when you change your perspective on people, right? I think it helps you to have a little bit more empathy. It really does. It opens your mind up to the possibility. And that's why I'm careful. I will block y'all in a heartbeat if you come in here diagnosing people and throwing out all this stuff. Because the moment I heard this story, I said, oh, this makes sense. This makes so much sense. Sandra, welcome in, bestie. How are you? I know this live is about... Oh, yes, Brianna. That's why I'm doing it. So if you can come over and help me with getting those watch hours, that's appreciated. Everybody in this room, thank you so much for commenting, liking it, sharing it out. That's important to me because it allows me to get those watch hours before... My goal is December 31st, have 4,000 watch hours. So y'all gonna see me on YouTube, baby. I'm gonna be live and in here. I'm doing great. So what is the base that he'll refer back to? I feel bad for him more than anything else. So this is a life lesson. I know a lot of y'all want ready-made men, okay? But I'm here to tell you there isn't one. There isn't one. When it comes down to it, our parents have all let us down in some way, shape, or form, okay? And it might not be from a perspective of the way his daddy is, like, y'all know how I feel about that van. I think that Logic is a disgusting human. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, but that needed to be said. I don't think that he should have been a parent to this child. However, I do believe at the same time that we all have a parent that maybe didn't communicate the best. They didn't hug us when they were upset with us because they didn't feel like we were deserving of a hug. They couldn't cheer us on for getting second place. Those little hits hurt. Even when Adam said, my mom coming into a room and embarrassing me when she knew I asked her not to tell my friends that I'm in Eagle Scouts or that I was playing classical piano, that's a scar. And that's why that little boy running around right now looking like Elmo or Big Bird on a regular basis. Like, you see those things show up. And I just want to say that it's a scar that you wear for the rest of your life. And that's why you'll never find a ready-made partner. Bree, thank you so much for coming over, girl. You'll never have a ready-made partner. We all carry those scars into adulthood. And so when I look at somebody, I just see you as a bigger kid. Like, you're just a bigger kid. You grew up. You just still hurt. And if you're not ready to work with somebody through those different hurts, through those shames, I don't know that you're really ready for what marriage is gonna be. It's hard. It's really, really hard. So I think this is Mecca's way of self-sabotaging. We've talked about this before. Mecca likes to self-sabotage because he doesn't see himself as worthy, but this all comes back to this conversation. So let me start with the earlier, was this the earliest conversation they had? I think it was. Yeah, it was. It was that conversation outside on the terrace area that they were on. Hey, Fumi, welcome. And Mecca said, my stepmom left, my siblings left. And I remember they all could have friends. They could go out with their friends. They had cell phones. And he was like, I'm so jealous. But if I told my dad, I know he wouldn't care because he probably already knew I was jealous. And for me, on the outside looking in, I said, I know he knew. And I knew he knew it was making you miserable. But in his daddy's mind, he probably said he deserves to be miserable. Misery loves company. And if logic ain't miserable, I don't know who is. Misery loves company. Mecca was his company. Like, Mecca became a casualty of his misery. And he had no choice. And he convinced him that he didn't deserve those things. Winner. That comment. Because he convinced him that he didn't deserve nice things, now he's looking at this prize. Because trust me, this girl is a prize, baby. Baby, if it's one thing Belle Jolie is, she fine. She's fine. Not only that, does she has emotional intelligence. She has a kindness and a warmth and a vibrance in life. And she's artistic, and she's a woman of many, many hats, it feels like. I think that she's a winner all by herself. And I feel like with Mecca, though, he doesn't need to be convinced. He sees what it is. He just knows he doesn't deserve it. In his mind, subconsciously, he's decided, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve it. And so let me go ahead and let her know that she's too ugly for me. Let me tell her she isn't enough for me. Let me tell her in front of everybody I was never attracted to her at the altar, when we know that was a lie. He legit was joking with his dad about it. He was telling his friends, he was like, so what should I expect on the wedding night? Like, people don't get excited about that in private unless they're also excited about the person that they're with. That's the difference. He's gonna lose her if he doesn't fix it. Agreed. Agreed. I think both. Okay, so how do y'all feel about, because somebody said that he needs individual therapy. I agree he needs individual therapy, but I also think they need couples therapy. So Nicholas says bonding over trauma has an expiration date, but I'm rooting for them because they complement each other well. They do complement each other. And I don't think that they're bonding just over that. Before she knew his story, I do believe that she still was head over heels with him. I do believe that she thought that he was going to be her husband for life the day when she met him at the altar. Do y'all remember how smitten she was? And she was like, oh, Jesus. And then at the reception, she said, not too much on my husband. I know you his daddy, but now I'm his wife. Not too much on my husband. Since day one, she has been rooting for this man, and I don't see that changing. And I do believe that the two of them need to go to couples therapy and individual therapy, because you can outgrow your couple by mistake if both of y'all are in therapy together talking about the things that you're implementing and why. So sometimes, like Marissa being a people pleaser, if she really wanted to do the hard work, her and Adam would have to go to therapy because they wouldn't be able to make that work if she started saying no all the time to him. And A lot of times with people pleasers, what I found is that they overcorrect. So it's like a toddler when they first learn how to say no to you. And so they'll keep saying no, 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 no to assert themselves and their autonomy. But you can ruin your relationship going to the other extreme as well. So couples therapy is good when you're going through individual therapy to unlearn some things. I think he needs both, Hazel, because he's already in a couple. You're not going to end your marriage because you find out that you're lacking in self-esteem, right? Like, I don't think anybody would divorce their partner. They would say, no, I do need the help. You're right. We keep having these same arguments because my self-esteem is low. Let me go to therapy. And then while I'm in therapy, also let's get us a couples therapist. So he's already married. Let's do the work now. And this happens every single day because plenty of couples discover new issues about themselves. I'm sure he ain't the only one. I know we sometimes get on this internet and we like to act like we're perfect and our ish don't stink, but I know it do for everybody, okay? You don't get to live 30 years of life without carrying some heavy burdens. You don't. And I'm going to learn something new about myself and my partner every single day. Every day. They do, bae. They do. And it just depends if that's what you want to do, is have both connected. But I sorry, y'all. Call came through. Okay, so I'm not gonna say that no, he just needs to divorce his wife and go be single and go get therapy. That's you're not gonna hear me say that. Try to work on it. Now I thought it was jarring that he said he used to pee himself before he got a whooping. Did y'all hear that? Because I don't think we're talking about that enough. This young man has been through it with Logic. Listen, whoopings, if that's what you want to do, okay, whatever. If you notice your kid is bedwetting until the age of 13, that is a sign of abuse. And if we are talking about somebody being so fearful of a parent that they're peeing on themselves, that's a different kind of reaction. That's the reaction type that I would have to a stranger danger, not my parents. Not my parents. Okay, if I get kidnapped, mugged, I get it. But my parents and I'm peeing on myself out of fear of them? Oh no. No, 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 baby. You did not take care of that young man. You did not love on him. You learn what you take with you as an adult. That's the beauty of it. Exactly. I watched him do something that a lot of people do when they talk about really bad things. They sometimes make a joke out of it, and nothing's funny about this to me. I'm sorry. I know you can talk about your trauma however you want to. You can talk about your pain however you want to. But you have to first acknowledge that it's painful to say, I was so scared of my daddy that I peed on myself. And I was so uncomfortable with my life circumstances, so emotionally distressed that, and I didn't have the words for it, that I was bedwetting until 13. And we can laugh at some of the things that you did to try to hide it, maybe from your friends, or we can laugh about it. But I think we first have to admit where it came from. And it came from your daddy just not being a good man to you. Mecca, you deserve better. I think she is wanting to help him through it, but he self-sabotages bad. He does. But as a child of a self-sabotager, because I'm watching this and I think, oh yeah, my dad used to be like this. I remember my daddy being this insecure. And I think when I think about that, right? So this is also a layer of empathy that people don't sometimes have, and they do the opposite. My mama was like this, and she was a narcissist, and she's terrible, and she made me feel XYZ, but she's having a human experience just like you. The same way as your first time living is also her first time living. The same way she did you, her parents probably did her. And we're all learning and growing as humans for the first time ourselves. So I also want us to take some time and really be careful about how we speak about people. I think that there's a lot of us on here. This is Married at First Sight. Oh, Barbie, I do not. I do not. But I do believe that there's so much to learn. Hey, Garrett, welcome in, boo. How are you? To learn from people, and instead of judging them, you would be better off understanding why you have such a strong emotional reaction to people. Because there's something to learn there too. When I see someone on a show, why am I having a strong emotional reaction to them? What is this bringing up for me that I need to fix? Because this has nothing to do with them at this point. If you're grossed out by somebody on a reality TV show, what do you need to fix? Right? To be able to say, oh, I see it, I understand it, and that's just who you are in this world. But you don't have to encounter these people. So why are you taking it so personally? Oh, you're back on the other app you came from? Well, good for you, Garrett. I love it. Okay, so we were talking about them because after he says that, she says, well, I could tell you about some of my issues as well in childhood. Florida, my YouTube is the same as here. It's That's So Trending. Everybody on here, if y'all can go over to my YouTube, it helps me with my watch hours. That's so helpful to every creator right now trying to reach 4,000 watch hours before February 1st. My goal is December 31st. So baby, we gonna be on YouTube all day live, okay? We gonna be doing some marathon lives here. So about different shows, because baby, the way I need these 4,000 hours before December 31st, I'm trying to get up in there. So That's So Trending. Yes, they do. Hello, Hazels. You want to see his exes? No, Blue Black, you don't want to see them girls because they probably as raggedy as he feels about himself. So this is another thing. Are y'all taking it personally because you find her to be so pretty? Because I have spoken to y'all about this on this show, is I think sometimes we have pretty privilege that shows up in how we watch reality TV. She is bad. She real bad. She fine. Anyways, I'ma hype up a black woman, baby. She fine. But besides that though, right? I think pretty privilege infiltrates the way that we allow people to be treated, because we think that pretty people are above being ridiculed publicly. They're above being shamed for their appearance. But let's talk about it, because personally, I think Heidi Klum is gorgeous, but the number of black men that will probably disagree with me because it's not their preference, that doesn't make me feel bad, right? I don't think we should feel bad because he doesn't find her attractive. For me, I know that it's a lie, because he's already talked about the fact that he thinks she's attractive. Mecca is not blind. The comfort he said it in is not his comfort, it's actually his discomfort. So the thing that y'all might be misreading here is that he is very uncomfortable with who he is. He doesn't feel deserving of all of this. And I do understand his daddy is logic. I understand. We just went through that. He is very uncomfortable. And what you do when you are afraid of being rejected is you try to reject first. You try your hardest to shut it down. So thank you, Bree. I appreciate you, girl. We try our hardest to push away what we fear, which he already told us is love. Mecca doesn't feel like he's deserving of love, so he's gonna push it away. And she is all in, but that's how it should be. And marriage is gonna be hard. Marriage is gonna be hard. I don't know if y'all just don't believe me, but listen, people are coming with a full package of hurt, pain, bruises, and scars before they meet you. And that we've just all lived a lot of life, right? So it's just, what does she want to trade that hard for? Because yeah, he might be self-sabotaging, and yeah, he can get over it with a therapist, but what's a different kind of hard? You're going to face hard no matter what. Adam and Marissa are facing hard right now. Cameron and Michelle are facing hard in their own way, but they're willing to compromise with each other. I think Nikki and Sean are facing hard. I think Felipe and Tori, like, listen, everybody's facing hard in their own way. And for me, I feel like this is not an exception. Like, they're just not going to be an exception. And I know you think she's above facing hard. And also, too, you know who else y'all feel like is above facing hard? Nikki. That's what's been interesting to me, is Nikki is actually warming up to Sean, and the audience is actually disgusted by the fact that she's trying to make her marriage work. What is going on in the world? Do we just not value, like, oh, you stumbled upon it? Girl, I've been clocked in since season 1. But do we just not value the work required? And we do, China. We really do all have a lot to deal with. And Mecca, baby, he got a lot. But that is something that he's going to have to just go through. I like that she's warming up to him. She needed time. Sean was a little pushy. We'll get to them, but we're going to get through Mecca's conversation first before we hop into Nikki and Sean. Belle says to him, too, we went without lights. We went without water. We've slept in the same room, me, my siblings, and my mother. We didn't have food. Sometimes she went hungry because she wanted to make sure we had something, you know, and it just wasn't enough for her. And I think him getting stuck on the beyond poor part was also his way of deflecting. When I told y'all, he carries a lot of dysfunction and a lot of uncomfortability. Like, he's not bold. This is not a bold man. And he's also not smart enough to be performative. So I don't want y'all to think that he's performative. No. He's hurt. Imagine this little boy. I think it's easier when you imagine him as your average 16-year-old. This is the kind of stuff that you see 16-year-olds do in high school. You tell them something really serious. My dad died, 6 months ago. And so I've just been, at the house by myself. Well, you want to have a party? We can throw a block party. Hold on. My dad just died, and you're going to skip over that and go to something that is as small as, like, you want to have a party at my house? This is something we see kids do, is get stuck on one little phrase of beyond poor and just start joking about that. It's not funny. Poverty is traumatic. And I think the reason we aren't making space for him is because we look at him and we're like, he's a grown man. He should just have it together. Says who? Says who? I really want to understand this logic, though. If somebody has an actual, like, reason why you think we should all have it together the moment we turn 30 or 29, let me know. Because I don't get it. I don't get it. He's showing up to work every day. He is paying his bills and he's responsible for himself. But outside of that, we're all carrying hard things with us. So who says that we have to have it all figured out and be perfect? But I think that this is the joy of being on the internet in 2026, is everybody assumes that they are perfect. And let them tell it, they Mother Teresa out here, okay? And they don't never do nothing wrong. They don't never react from their trauma. It's just, now I'm gonna be honest with you. Courtney, I told y'all I need him to drop a toothbrush in the toilet for her, because I can't stand the way she treats him. She is disrespectful. And that's very, very different, though. I told y'all, like, the way she be talking to that man is never gonna be okay in my book. If y'all hear my stomach growling, I apologize. I ain't ate nothing since this morning. Just let the thunder roar. Anyways, Mecca and Belle, her birthday. Yeah, she's different. I don't know if it's the MAGA hate. Maybe it's bleeding over into her relationships. Maybe it's the MAGA, it's eating away at her brain cells. I'm not on a fast. I need to be, baby. Lose about 15 pounds. Kitty, no, nobody's in this is also the problem. Nobody's in a long-term relationship anymore. right? We have very few married people that actually come through my particular lives. And I can tell because people who have been in long-term relationships know that everybody they date is going to have barriers. And when I say barriers, I mean things that just come from their childhood spaces. Remember, the people I date are children of the 80s. Their parents were on crack sometimes. Like, people be dealing with some stuff, y'all. They be dealing with some stuff. And I just want to make y'all aware that people don't come in perfect little packages. They just don't. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, Bree. China, it's real life. Like, real life is sometimes these parents ain't ish. And that was also the era, and I found a lot of men that I was dating when I was younger, they were raised mostly by their grandparents because their parents were out having a good time in the 80s and 90s. It was a different time, okay? Two Live Crew, we had Salt and Pepper out on the radio. They weren't gonna miss the club to take care of no baby. They had them and their parents raised them. Different time period. Very complex, kitty. Learning new things every day, Alicia. I know that's right. Forever curious, forever growing with your partner, because that's real. Now, in this conversation about the birthday, I thought it was a very sweet. Did y'all also notice that he did not take any credit for the gifts that he gave her? I want to ask y'all because I thought it was I don't know what it is yet. I'm gonna have to sit with it for a little bit because when I took the note, I was like, huh, that's weird. Why does he keep saying a man delivered these gifts? Or somebody dropped this off for you? What is this? Okay, because I think that there's a part of him that's trying to delete himself from the equation. He actually really has strong feelings for her, and dare I say, he wants to say the L word to her. However, I believe that he is stopping himself from doing that. And if he detaches himself from these sweet gestures, it's also another way for him not to show how much he cares about her. I think that there's a bigger issue there, and I'm gonna sit with it, y'all, because I'm gonna sit with different what could be motivating that type of speech around these gifts and the sweet things that he does for her. Yeah, Kitty, I think he's in love with her too. Do you think production planned it? I don't. I think he did. I actually do. Do I think that like maybe like they helped him with the flowers? Maybe, because they had rose petals, and I know that they gave the like Sean and Nikki had some too in a bag, and I think Courtney, no, Michelle and Cameron had some stuff for their intimacy scenes, so maybe they got some of the flowers for him. But I know that he knew about the bag because she said that he was listening. He was listening about something else too. So he really was listening to her. Yes, we'll get to them too. But yeah, we can hop into, she asked him, how do you know the difference between liking somebody a lot and loving them? And he said, I don't know. Correct. You don't know because you yourself have never been loved, baby. Your daddy has never shown you what being in love probably looks like either, because I doubt Logic showed up the best for his previous wives, meaning his mom or his stepmom, and that's why they had to get out. They had to get up out of Dodge. And I told y'all, I am so glad. I mean, I'm sorry for this man, but I am so glad that he left, or those women left him, because who Lord, nobody don't deserve Logic. Sorry. Nobody deserves Logic. Nobody. Yeah, it ain't got nothing to do with this child. This young man ain't got nothing to do with it. But I'm gone. I'm getting my stuff. And I'm gone if I'm married to Logic. I can't do it. I can't do it. I just can't do it. Like, it's not for me. Hey, Bree, welcome in. Okay, so we were talking about Sean and Nikki. Did they even play a part in episode 13? Barely. They had a candle making date. I don't think they really did. Did they? They had a candle making date. She said that this was her idea of fun. this is on Peacock. Married at First Sight is on Peacock. This is episode 13 that we're talking about. So tomorrow we'll come back and talk about episode 14, okay? But Sean and Nikki, about needing release. Oh, y'all weren't here for my conversation about Sean and Nikki? Did y'all miss that? I know you were probably here, China, but did y'all miss my conversation about Sean and Nikki and the wifely duty? I put up a video about it. If y'all don't know, I have a playlist at the top of my page called Married at First Sight Season 20. You can go there for it. Nightmare. And then you can also watch it on YouTube if you guys are over there. Wifely duty is crazy. Again, compassion, because Amaya, and this is no shade to anybody, because I understand why it was off-putting to us as a generation. I said this because I remember being taught that it was a wifely duty to sleep with my husband. I was probably like 8 years old listening to these sermons. And I remember pastors from the pulpit saying that, like, and they would preach it under this guise that husbands, your body no longer belongs to you, it belongs to your wife. And wives, your body belongs to your husband. And I believe that another thing we forget is the human side of being the higher sex drive person in a relationship. Sometimes I do believe that we forget that when you are that person, right, it is natural to have a certain level of frustration, but what do you do with that emotion? You don't just hurl it onto your partner. You don't. You absolutely are supposed to sit with that and say, you know what? Absolutely. And respect their no. And that's all he should have done in that moment. And the fact that he didn't is what's alarming, because it's like, why didn't you sit down and think about that for a second? You know what your end goal is. How unromantic is this? He's cringe, to be honest. He's 48. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's because I also like don't date men that old, that like I don't see him as cringe. I see him as somebody that could probably hang out with my daddy and they friends, right? I don't have a reference for cringe. Actually, I don't really use that word either too much. I just like, I don't know. Like, maybe he's just an old man. Like, I don't know what the difference is, because to me, he just acts like my like, to me, when I hear him, he sounds like somebody that probably works in an office somewhere high up in a position. Like, that's what I hear. I don't really like think about it twice. Like, if I met him at an office and he told me he was head of HR or something, I'd be like, oh, that you look like it. You look like it. Yeah, he's not my cup of tea. Let's be free from the word cringe and ick. I like that. Oh, okay. So for the house, absolutely. Her house is gorgeous. She lives in like a 3-story attached unit, and her home is very well designed. That was the first thing I noticed. She pointed out her open cabinets there. Loved it. Loved the way she set that up. And I think that was what episode was that? 12? But I love the open concept of that cabinet space. I love how she's bringing in the Indian and all of that, the West Elm. Yes, Nikki's home was beautiful. I thought she designed it very well. I don't think I came on here to talk to y'all about episode 12, so let me just get my thoughts out about this. And I didn't make videos about it because I was making long form content, but oh, guys, if you didn't watch my recap on episode 12, it's up on YouTube as well. I think that Sean saw her home and said to himself, like, is she expecting me to be impressed? Because I'm not. And it's funny because I told y'all I've been around the world, right? I've met the Seans of the world who will say that. And then sometimes you got to humble them right quick and remind them, hey, you don't have a home. You live in the home that was passed down to you, but this is the home that I worked hard for, and I actually paid the mortgage on. And usually men don't know what to do when you say things like that, but yeah, he didn't say it to her because he's planning on moving in. The boy ain't stupid. He ain't trying to be homeless. He ain't trying to be homeless and musty all at the same time. He's got to pick a struggle. So what he's doing is he's giving her just enough accolades to her face to make her comfortable. But then he's telling us and the camera crew, it ain't that special. My friends are also bougie. But remember, just because you're in a circle of rich people doesn't make you rich. Your circle might have wealth. Your circle might have privilege. Your circle also has beautiful homes, but you don't. And that's the important distinction that we need to make, okay? Number two, there is a lot of misconceptions, and while we have 100 people in here, welcome in. My name is Bo. Make sure you guys have hit that follow button, and also make sure you're giving your daily heart me. I want to say that, where was I going with that before that jumped in my head with Sean and Nikki? Oh my gosh, what was I talking about? I was talking about their housing situation. Never mind. Don't even worry about it. Getting in the bed and him saying that she's the same kind of bougie as me. No, sir. Your home was not bougie. It was not at all bougie. Bougie by proximity is not a thing. He was insane for that, because how'd his house look? Her home was so nice and she cares about her space. Exactly. For a lot of men though, right? And also too, I wonder if it's because they have basic homes that they feel like nothing's exquisite, because they don't know the difference. They don't know the difference between West Elm and Restoration Hardware. They don't know the difference between, you know, going to IKEA and going into a West Elm. They don't have like Fifth Ave, like there's no reference. It's the same thing with clothing sometimes with men. Like I can be like, oh, look at this fabric. It's like, you know, like some nice silk or something, and they won't know anything about draping and why it matters about the quality of the fabric. I wonder if because they don't have an eye for it, they're also like dumb to it. Because when I walked in, I would have been impressed. Okay, baby, I love this concept and design and the way that they're utilizing space, because it is very narrow, but it didn't feel small. Does that make sense? Exactly. He's using bougie by proximity as a thing. There's no such thing, y'all. Please know, there is no such thing as bougie by proximity. You don't get credit for your friend's work. They're doctors and lawyers. But if you work at the high school and you're a teacher, you're still a teacher. You can hang out with executives and COOs and CFOs. You are still a librarian. That is, and nothing's wrong with that. But don't come in here acting like this home isn't the best thing that you've been in all week because yours isn't that nice. Give credit where credit is due. We appreciate your service though. Okay, at least he's not homeless, because we have had people on the show who are homeless. Do y'all remember the flight attendant that didn't have a house and we had to go to her U-Haul storage spot and get her, and like y'all don't remember her? Okay, we gonna act like like y'all know who she is. She had a storage facility. She didn't have a house. Oh, okay, Kitty. This is Married at First Sight, Jasmine. So yeah, like I think we need to, yeah, Taz, I remember her from the New Orleans season, because I like my boy. Everybody was coming for him, and I'm so glad he got vindicated at the reunion. Because, yes, because it's on Peacock, we lit on Peacock with the show. And so yes, that's it for Sean and Nikki. Like they didn't really have a lot. They only had one scene this whole entire thing. Or on episode 13, they only had one scene. That was it. They didn't give us much of them at all. And this is another reason why I don't want y'all judging these people so harshly. Please note, they gave us 10 minutes probably of each couple. 10 minutes. You don't like him, which is fair, right? But I always tell people, as long as you show compassion for people, I don't care if you don't naturally want to hang out with these people, because you'll never have to, right? Like after the season, we'll forget all about them. However, or there will just be a funny story to tell when we talk about other shows and how their personalities relate. But I just have a lot of compassion for these people, because I can't imagine going up here and having people dissecting me for just living my life. So I give the kudos to them. Kudos to them for even doing this type of thing and coming on reality TV. Yes, Shirley. TikTok became too much. I understand, friend. Listen, we here. We ready to party. I will say though, I don't think YouTube has a very good streaming platform. This is my first time streaming on YouTube. And do you see how like grainy the image looks compared to TikTok? Okay. Now, who's the next couple we need to talk about? Everybody? Did I forget to talk about anybody? I think I did, probably. Episode 13. Yeah, it is delayed. It is grainy and it is delayed. And the thing is I'm using my iPhone 11 to talk to you guys, and I'm so clear. I'm using my iPhone 15 to talk to TikTok. I'm sorry, to talk to YouTube, and it's so grainy. No, I didn't. Lord have mercy. How did I forget them? She gets on my nerves. That's how I forgot them. Let's talk about Devin and Caitlin. Devin and Caitlin, they go out on a dinner date, right? So remember, they had that fight last episode. Did I talk about that with y'all? Did we talk about them? This is Married at First Sight. I don't think we did, y'all. So I'm gonna tell y'all how I feel about the fight from episode 12, since we didn't talk about it on the live. If y'all watched episode 12, y'all should already be caught up. Devin and Caitlin are leaving the group dinner table thing, whatever. And they get into this argument because Devin didn't feel like things were going well in their relationship because she wasn't moving at the pace that she wanted him to, or he wanted her to. And for her, right, that's nitpicking. And because she can't face criticism head on, she starts to cut him off at the table and not wanting to hear what he has to say. Devin is entitled to an opinion. Do I think he's moving too fast? Absolutely not. I don't care what none of y'all say, okay? Y'all avoidant black cats, you miss me with that, okay? Because if I sign up to have a husband, baby, that's my husband. My man, me and Belle Jolie about to be sisters. My man, my man, my man. Today, yesterday, and forevermore. My man. So, I cannot come on a show that says I'm getting married at the altar the first time I meet you and then be like, pump the brakes. That don't make sense to me, baby. You don't want to be married then, my love. I'm so sorry. Caitlin decided that she was going to get married without, and y'all can get mad at this too, without doing her marital duties. You are supposed to spend time with your husband. That is a marital duty. You are supposed to say good morning to him. That is a marital duty. And I think it's weird that she doesn't want to speak to him when the cameras aren't on. That's strange. That's strange. Like, she is annoyed to be married, Aisha, and I don't understand why she did it. Ain't nobody make you come up here. Ain't nobody. Who did it? You did this. She wants the marriage that her friends have. And first of all, marriages are a fingerprint. Everyone is unique and they have their own situations, right? I think that she gave up on him the moment he gave her any pushback because she doesn't receive feedback well. Caitlin does not like to be told anything about herself. And that's why she can't hear Devin, because how dare you have something negative to say about me? She gets into her white woman tears mode, goes in the car, starts tearing up, talking about, this is where she lost me again. In this episode, episode 13, they get in the car and she goes, woe is me. That she didn't feel like everything could be all her fault and that he was nitpicking. And he was like, you are kind of hard to love. Yes, you are making it hard to love, to love you. And two, We only talk when the cameras are on. So she brought up one instance where they had a good time off camera. And I actually haven't heard them talk about any other memories that they have, except for this some type of festival. I forgot what it was called. EDM festival. Anywho, it was one event. That's it. And she acts like that makes up a whole relationship. You're closed off with this man. You don't even say good morning to him. That's weird to me. That is your duty in a relationship. Nobody can tell me anything different. You don't get to treat your partner terribly in a relationship. And I'm not making space for Caitlyn to do that. And so many women want to be like, he just has to respect her slow pace. Don't come on Married at First Sight. Don't come on Married at First Sight. Nobody's forcing you to be here right now. If you want a slow pace, go date. That's what the dating scene is for. Her friends are odd. I didn't like the way that they came for his appearance. I didn't like the way that they said that, I don't know. I don't like the way that they said that he had something wrong with his hair and like, I don't know. She was like, how dare you not only say stuff about me and call yourself out while you're at it? Like, don't take away my chance to give ammo back correctly. I wish he would have called her on that in the car because I did notice that he did that. If y'all haven't watched my recap, go watch it because I break down their scene bit by bit. He is the sweetest. And I say she tried to shift the conversation. When she couldn't get sympathy points from Devin that way, she said, what did she say to him? Because now I'm curious, but I don't feel like scrolling through it. But anyways, when she couldn't get sympathy points, she tried to place the blame on him for nitpicking, I think is what she did. And then she, y'all don't call the women out for this, but she basically told him to shut up. She said, if you don't want to be in still waters with me and this relationship not progressing, then I need you to stop listing all the negative things going on in our relationship and focus on the positive. You don't get to tell somebody that's emotionally manipulative. You don't get to tell somebody they don't get to say anything bad about the relationship that they're currently in because you don't want to be held accountable. Thank you, China. She definitely did. She was being emotionally manipulative. If you want to stay with me and progress, you don't get to say anything bad about this. And you need to focus on the positives. What? like what is happening here? What am I watching? And why isn't this being called out as some type of emotional coercion? Free Devin. Free Devin from this mess. But on the dinner date, he makes light of the situation. They say that they don't want to argue. And I love that she thinks this is how simple-minded Caitlyn is, which tells me that she's not ready for this. She says that fight could have been a 15-minute private conversation. In what world are you getting fixed in 15 minutes? That's a good Saturday argument. Like, y'all know what I'm talking about? Like, you ever choose a day, I don't have time today. It's Wednesday night, I gotta go to work in the morning. But Saturday, I'm gonna tell him about himself and the disrespect from Tuesday night, because I can't, like, we gonna talk about it, and I know we gonna get into it, and yeah, in a black cat world, she is living in her own world. But I promise you, that was a good all-day discussion about how we're going to draw boundaries, about how you treat me, and that not being okay. That was not a 15-minute conversation. That deserved a whole therapy session and then some more conversations, because she has to unlearn whatever this is that she's learned about relationships and how she gets to speak to Devin. How she spoke to him at that table was terrible, episode 12. Also, clearly she doesn't talk to him. So when the 15-minute convo gonna happen, he said it has to happen by phone or text message. That's literally what he said to her at the dinner table. He said, I will text you next time I have an issue. That's not a marriage. The fact that he had to ask her, can we watch a TV show? And she said, well, as long as we go to bed by 9:30, do y'all want to date or no? Because this is also something I run into with dating nowadays that I used to not have to deal with. People are so structured. Oh, 8:30. People are so structured and rigid that they don't leave any space for fluidity. The point or the fun of dating is supposed to be the fluidity. If we are dating and you tell me I got to be home by 8:30, you don't like me. Because listen, the one thing I'm gonna do is like have a good time on a date. And if it leads us to an ice cream shop and an arcade after dinner, then that is what it is. And I expect fluidity, because if not, you're not making space for me in your life. You're expecting me to mold and conform to yours. But where is the space to say, you know what? This is a once a week thing. I can definitely stay up a little bit late tonight. Exactly, Barbie. Right. We both got day jobs. And so we're all trying to cram in as much time together as we can. And also too, if you're dating somebody new and it doesn't excite you like that to break the rules with them and like go out and do some things that you would normally do, you know, get off your diet for a little bit that night, then that's not your person. Like, let's be real. I've never turned down an extra second location after a date. Like, if y'all want, if I really like that person, I'm going bowling. If I'm going miniature golfing, I'm going to do the random stuff. And it wouldn't even be a discussion about staying up late. She don't like that man. She doesn't want a relationship. I'm not sure why she came on the show. Me either, child. Caitlyn, Caitlyn, it's above me. It's it's above me now. Um, Exactly. We can leave for the day and go straight to work. Now I ain't doing that, but I'm asleep. I'm asleep. But like, we can stay up late. I'm not giving you an 8:30 cutoff time every single time we hang out. That's weird. You not excited? Like, that's so strange to me. But yeah, that was their conversation at the table. And then let's see if they had another conversation in episode 13. No, that was the only one that they had. That episode didn't have a lot going on at all. Like, oh, later on, Courtney and Nick had their conversations, but that's it. Do you think it's an introvert thing? I'm an introvert. The way that I act online for y'all is not the way that I interact in real life. I am super duper quiet. I don't talk. Actually, my cousin found my YouTube and he played it for his mother. He was like, this cannot be the same girl who never said more than 2 words to us when she would come over. And look at her talking. I do not talk. Like, I do not talk. And so it's funny because if if I were on a date, I would still talk if I like the person. And I can't imagine a world in which I like somebody and I'm just going to sit there and just not laugh at their jokes, not want to hang out with them. That's weird. Caitlyn just don't like that man. So honestly, sugar, this is the best I've seen in a long time. If y'all have been watching since the beginning, this is the best I've seen as far as casting goes since season 12. I have not seen a better season of Married at First Sight since season 12. Because I think season 13 was Chris and Paige, and it's been straight hell since then. It's been terrible. She was Barbie. I think that was a front for her. She don't like that man for real. Watch Nick's other shows. He's an actor, not serious. He just likes the idea of marriage. So I will not be going back and watch Perfect Match. I did watch Perfect Match this season, like this year. However, the show is just not that good in theory. Like, it's just a bootleg Love Island. So Perfect Match isn't my favorite to report on, but I will do it for you guys if we have a lot of interest in it. And I watched it mostly this year because of Marissa. Marissa was on there from Love is Blind. Her and Ramses, do you remember them? Well, she was on there. Oh, you remember him from The Circle. So actually, I find that a lot of the couples are compatible. The only two that are not, that I think could never work is Adam and Marissa. But I do believe that Adam presented himself unwell. Like, I don't think that Adam told them how rigid he was. I don't think he said that. And he should have. Because the way he presented himself before the show started, I thought his problem was going to be womanizing. I thought he was going to be Felipe. I did not know he was going to be this rigid until the wedding day. Then he got kind of weird about the gift that she sent him, and that's when I was like, oh, this is going to be a problem. Then the only other person that I thought was like not a great match was Nick and Courtney. Nick and Courtney are not a great match. But those two are the only two where I was like, from the beginning, yeah. He reminds me of Colton from The Bachelor. I don't know Colton, but I don't think I know he's not gay, because apparently they be getting it in. But he might be bi, and that don't change nothing either. He needs a podcast. He's a podcast bro. I believe it. He definitely gives, I'm going to teach you how to maximize your life, grow your potential, retire by 40, and dude, set your children up. Like, that is very much what Adam gives. And I can definitely see him on one of those shows giving advice to other men, like, over time. So yeah, I can see that for Adam. I think that's it from episode 13 though. Let me remind y'all, in case y'all weren't here for this announcement, I am over on YouTube and I'm going to be there a lot more. Yes, TikTok is great and I love the community that we have here, but I have been transitioning y'all to YouTube for a while. Make sure that you're following me at That's So Trending, okay? That is where I'm putting all of my recaps right now. So if you guys aren't following me, you're missing out on all of those. Make sure that you guys are watching the recaps, because I've noticed my viewership is very low on my long form. Now, you guys will show up to watch my shorts. Like, I'm doing great on my shorts views, but I need y'all to watch my long form content. Also, she clearly doesn't talk to him. So when was the 15-minute convo? Oh, sorry. Hey, welcome in. No, this isn't me, my girl. This is Belle Jolie Mecca. We're talking about Married at First Sight. Have you been watching? It's on Peacock. Also, make sure you're watching the long form content as well as the shorts. They're not pushing them out. So I'm telling y'all that I've been releasing every day at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I've been putting out videos for the last like 3 days, I want to say. And so I've been trying to be very consistent with it, and they're pushing my shorts out to you guys, but not my long form recaps of the episode. So the next one I've got to put out tomorrow is episode 13. And then I'm going to shoot episode 13, 14, and 15. So I have it stashed away and you guys can watch it on your lunch breaks, okay? They are haters. They're very much haters. But they're also trying to figure me out, because like I said, I've only posted about 3 long form videos for them to kind of get data on. And so they're trying to figure out what I do. But when you guys go over and actually watch it, it helps them, because they say, oh, well, Barbie watches other people who report on Married at First Sight or Love Island. So she's going to love this girl's content. And that's how they decide who my audience is. No, nobody's hyped my videos yet. Y'all don't love me over on YouTube the way you love me on TikTok. And I put it in my stories that I've been posting there. Literally watching this as we speak. Oh, love it. Okay. So yes, I've been trying to get the videos up for y'all on a regular basis. It is hard work. Love it, babe. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all, we got to reach 4,000 watch hours. So it's going to be a lot of me on YouTube going live. It's going to be a lot of me asking you guys to go over there and watch my long form content, because my shorts do not count towards that 4,000 hours. So I've got over 1,300 hours from my shorts views, and I think I only have like seven when I've got 1,300 shorts views, but only 7 hours from my long form, which counts towards that 4,000 hours. So we've got a long way to go. So y'all put that playlist on and go to bed and mute that TV. Just let it play in the background. It helps. Some of the married at first sight talking points are so toxic and rigid. What do you mean, Barbie? You have such a fresh take on some of the couples and relationships. Oh, thank you. I'll set it to play tonight. Oh, thank you, Hazel. That's so sweet. Thank you. Oh, it's in my bio if you guys don't want to type it in. But if you go to YouTube, you just go youtube.com/@ That's so trending. It's the same as my name on here. But if you just want to click the link in my bio, you can. It'll take you right to my page to hit subscribe. I am working on building my library, so y'all be patient with me. I am going to do a couple of movie reviews as well, because I don't know if y'all watched it, but there was this crazy couple. Sorry, I don't know how else to describe them. That the ex-girlfriend faked having cancer, and then when she met this new man, she ended up telling him she was pregnant with twins. Turns out she had printed off the sonogram from online. Thank you so much. You forgot the @ symbol though, Amel. It's an @ in there. Yes, I was so confused. I was too, girl. That show, that movie had me confused, because I had to sit for a second and say, wait a minute, which one did this? Who is Michelle? I literally sat on this floor. Who's Michelle? And like the names that kept coming out, and I was like, wait a minute. So he didn't do it? Because I thought he was guilty the whole time. And it was really her. I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that coming. So yeah, I basically watched it, and I might talk about that, or I'm definitely going to talk about The Last House. I think that was the name of it. It's about the aliens from underwater that come back and seal up all the homes. So I'm going to do a quick movie review over there as well. When I tell y'all I'm not playing about this 4,000 hours, I mean that. I mean that. And y'all will be seeing me on live. So, oh yeah, girl, I be in the house. When I tell y'all I be on the thing, finding the shows, I be finding them. Don't watch that. I'm sorry. You can watch my review on The Last House, but don't watch the actual movie. It's about a 3 out of 10. That's the rating I'm gonna give it. So The Polygamist, I thought about watching it, but I was like, am I too late to talk about The Polygamist? Because I know a lot of people talked about it already. So it was a waste of time. Sorry, but I'm gonna do a review on it because I watched it. I might as well make content about it. I don't go to movie theaters. That's another thing y'all should know about me is I went and watched Sinners. That's the last thing I watched in a movie theater. That's probably all I'm gonna watch in a theater, unless it's a date and somebody else is gonna pay for it. I've never been the type to enjoy theater spaces. It's a production for me to get up and get dressed and leave the house. I would rather be on the couch eating me a chicken wing watching Married at First Sight or something. I don't get excited about the theater. Oh, thank you, Amel. Yes. I'm the opposite. I love the movies. Okay. No, and I see why. I really do. Because I was like there, and it was a whole family experience. Because, well, it wasn't a family experience for Sinners, but I was like in one of the theaters where you could order food and do all of that. And so I could see why people like that environment. It's just not for me. Because I could order takeout and just have it at home, at least kick my feet up, watch it, fall asleep, and start it again. You sneak snacks in? That's hilarious. My kids drag me to the theaters. See, when you got kids, they be making you do all kinds of stuff, girl. Get up on Saturday morning and feed them you gotta feed them every Saturday? That's crazy to me. I'm just not gonna do it. Let me actually write down, see, that's why the kids would be taken, but let me put down this movie list in here. That's crazy. I can't imagine getting up every single Saturday and getting up at 6 a.m. to feed some little humans. I can't. At least I used to, but now I'm falling asleep. Dark plus cold is the perfect recipe. Exactly. And when I went, right, it was a bunch a bunch of people in their snuggies, like the little hooded, what do you call those things? Hooded throw blankets that you wear, and they were like cozied up, and I was like, y'all too comfortable in public for me. I had just left a hair appointment too, so that was the last thing I went to see. They only eat on Saturday. But they somebody else's responsibility. So you get them to school in time enough so they can get breakfast in the morning, and then you like give them lunch money so that somebody else can feed them, and then I'll feed them at nighttime, Monday through Friday. But then Saturday and Sunday, Sunday, if you got an appetite before church, cool. But Saturday morning, you definitely got to get up and feed them kids. You bring a large packet of blankets, lordy mercy. Watch the early 2000s rom-coms. They're fun to revisit. They are fun to revisit, but I know nobody would watch it. So I'm trying to be very, very strategic with how I spend my time. I was thinking about it yesterday, right? So I went to work at 8:15. I got to work at like 8:15 in the morning. Ate lunch, and I was like, maybe I can record a video. Didn't. Um, did not at all. I think I made like a short form content video for TikTok, right? And then went back to work after that. And then 5 p.m. came around, and I had to get, what did I have to do? Oh, watch this show for 3 hours. This took me 3 hours just to watch it and take notes on it. 9 p.m. comes, I had to, well, no, it was 10:03 when I finished these episodes. And then I had to edit my long form videos so you guys had something to watch today at 12. So those videos take me about 3 to 4 hours, depending on how long my bloopers reel is on each video. Like, I cut out a lot because I'm pausing, I'm thinking, I'm like, what happened next? I do work a 9 to 5. And so, yes, girl, if you are here, baby, I was working my butt off during Love Island season. Every day I was getting off, and I was getting on here right after work, would do like 8 o'clock, get off. So I would be on for like 3 hours, get off at 8 p.m. So we could all take a rest from watching the screens. 9, we would watch Love Island, come back at 10:30. Because I had to post my videos. I had to get some content up. After we would get off the live at night, I would be making more videos to be released throughout the day the next day. So yes, working a 9 to 5 and creating content is time consuming, and I don't think people talk about it enough. None of your favorite creators are just doing content creator or creating content, most likely. A lot of them still show up for their 9 to 5s. And a lot of them are still invested in making your community real. So getting to know you and how you feel and recognizing your names and building real community. But we still got to think about our 9 to 5s, and that cubicle is still coming every Monday morning. So if I spend another 6 hours tonight, which I probably will, on content, my Friday's gone. On to Saturday and back to the work hustle. You haven't had the courage to post, just do it. Nothing bad is going to happen. I promise you. Are you into K-dramas? Never watched them, to be honest with you. I have never watched a K-drama. I know. There's some really great stories in K-dramas, and there's more good South African dramas on Netflix too. Now, I do believe South African dramas would probably be more in my wheelhouse than K-dramas. But I can't prove it because I've never watched K-dramas. So I don't know. I have to tap in at some point, but not right now. Because my goal, Real Housewives of Potomac is in the fall. So for those of y'all who watch Real Housewives of Potomac, clock in. Yes, we will be in the fall watching Love is Blind USA, August 19th, which is 5 days from y'all now. We're watching Love is Blind UK, August 19th. So everybody get tapped in, get ready. Love is Blind USA is in the fall right after that. And then we also in the fall have to watch Secret Lives of Mormon Wives and Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Yes, Wendy is going to jail. Listen, Wendy going to jail. We will be occupied. We will be occupied. And I just want y'all to know so y'all don't get sick of me, right? But yes, we've got to hit this 4,000 watch hour goal, y'all. So I'm gonna be pushing, pushing, pushing for everybody to move. Also too, if y'all didn't know, I made an event. Everybody go to my page under lives, y'all. And make sure you sign up to get notified because I'm going live on YouTube right after the Love Island USA season 8 premiere for the reunion. It's August 31st at 9 p.m. If you guys are not already aware, August 31st, 9 p.m., we're all sitting down to watch Peacock, right? We got it on the calendars. I got it on mine. At 11 p.m., because the reunion is usually 2 hours. So at 11 p.m., I'm going live on YouTube. And I might, because I'm not happy with this visual. So the next time y'all see me, when we talk about Married at First Sight again, I'm probably going to set my camera up and I'm going to have to use a digital camera. I hate the visual that's happening. Oh, you're going to watch the next day? Well, still come to our watch party. Still come to our watch party, girl. You know I'll go detail by detail. My notes are very extensive. We're going to have a good time, talk about it the night before. And then the next day, I'll probably come back to TikTok to do an actual like live where we can have co-hosts come up and all of that. So we'll be talking about it the whole week though. Let's be real. And your interest changes a lot. That's really, well, this is what I say though. It doesn't hurt to niche down, right? Because I've found my real community here with you guys who enjoy reality TV with me. So if you guys are interested in content creation, niche down and then expand out. Because what I'm really doing is I'm saying to you guys, I know we love reality TV. Y'all are my people. But now I'm going to expose you guys to some movies that I'm also watching. So I'm expanding and I'm expecting my audience to expand with me because why wouldn't you want to hang out and talk about a TV show? Well, a movie with me, right? Like you can start small and then just kind of grow outward. And it doesn't have to be super like pretty. And then a lot of people will start to grow outward and go into lifestyle content and makeup and, you know, all types of stuff. Do you watch Jasmine W's recaps? I don't, but I know who she is because she used to work with Kev on stage. I was introduced to her back in 2020. And during the COVID lockdown, she was on his comedy show. She used to work a lot with him. Watching TV is my favorite hobby. It's my only hobby. Girl, it's the only thing I got time and energy for at this point. So yeah, I watch TV. It's my guilty pleasure. And I want to take y'all along with me on the journey. As always, I want to challenge you guys to grow, learn, cultivate maybe some interests that are outside of the box. And also challenge ourselves mentally to learn more about humans. You watch Jasmine W's reviews and Tamara Lynette Tales. I haven't heard of that one. Jasmine goes live on TikTok at the same time she does her Married at First Sight reviews. I did not know that. But that's really smart though. That's really, really smart. And that's what I'm trying to do here. So I'm going to post this video to YouTube and see how many views I get. It's 102 minutes long. And the thing is, though, you can't edit the video. So you guys are getting this raw and uncut. And we're going to see if anybody watches any of it. But if they do, oh well. If they don't, it's okay. So this way, at least we can say we've uploaded another video today. But guys, 102 minutes of, and this counts towards our watch hours, right? Should I stay on here and chit chat with y'all until the 120 mark? Cause that'll put us at 2 hours of watch time. If we do, instead of just 1 hour. Hey, Miss Lee, welcome. Thank you so much for the follow. Yes. Okay. Let's do it. Let's chit chat, y'all, because I haven't talked to another human in a while. Outside of work. Might as well, right? Hey, Miss Lee, welcome in. Yes. So if y'all don't know, and I don't know if I even told y'all this, but during Love Island, what striked up my interest in YouTube was I started working with a content strategist. Did I tell y'all that? No? Well, I started working with a content strategist here from TikTok, and she was like, maybe switch over to YouTube. And I was like, I just don't have time. I'm already ripping and running for Love Island. And she was like, just take your content and put it over there. So I put it under shorts, right? And so there was no urgency with me. I never felt the urgency to make long form content because I said, when I get around to it, I'll get my 4,000 hours, it'll be fine. And I need 1,000 subscribers in order to qualify for the YouTube partner program. So that's all you needed at the time. I said, okay, I'm going to take a little break, only worried about my TikTok really community that I built. And then August 10th, I get a notification that TikTok has now changed the game. Instead of needing 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours on long form content, you now need 1,000 subscribers and 8,000 hours. I don't think people realize how much time that is. So let me put that into days. Hold on. Okay. Divided by, yeah. Crazy, right? Divided by 60 is 133 hours. And then we're gonna it's 133.3. So like, and then I'm gonna divide it by 24. So that's 5.5 days of people watching my content. 5.5 days. Yes, I did pay for the content strategist. And it was worth every penny because she was the first one to identify there's a trend. When you just recap a video on YouTube, you're not getting followers, okay? When you sit down and you go into depth about why these people are doing what they're doing, that is when you actually get followers. So lean into the psychological aspect. And for a while, I shied away from it because I told y'all I have never been a therapist. I do not claim to be a therapist. I do not want anybody claiming me to be a therapist. Yes, babe. And I did not realize that trend, right? Until I started working with her. And because she's looking at it for me, it made me think, okay, this is what I need to lean into. I sit on your couch. Oh, Bree, that actually makes me feel good because I actually do want this to be a safe space for people who enjoy reality TV to come. But I feel that what's more important though is that for the people that actually listen to my videos is that they take something away from it that they're able to use with their relationship partners or sisters and brothers. Because remember, Mecca is somebody's brother. He's talked about the fact that he has step siblings. So imagine them having to deal with him for the next 30, 40 years, right? Like, imagine how it affects his friendships because I saw him. You remember the white boy from his wedding? He was so annoyed with him when he got drunk. And I think that giving insight to name what's happening with him helps people overall. I do believe that we are used to being able to get away with shaming people. So then we don't actually look any further than that. We're just like, throw a rock and leave it at that, right? But I want to say that these are all human beings worthy of trying to understand their motives and respect that they all come from hard knock lives. He has had a hard life. Oh, thank you, Phoenix. I really do try. I do it with my shorts. Now I'm focused on my recaps being just fun and lighthearted, kind of like what we do here on the lives, where I just give y'all fun content. Like, it's supposed to be entertaining and fun to sit down and talk. It is not supposed to be super duper educational or like anything like that. It's just supposed to be fun. Treese, I think it's better that you're not. People are willing to listen casually. The people who do it acting like they're therapists and trying to diagnose are dangerous people. I agree with that. It is unethical for people to come on here with an actual degree and try to diagnose people from a TV show. You can't. Okay, like, first of all, you can't. But second of all, you shouldn't. First of all, we get 10 minutes out of their day and we don't get to ask follow-up questions. Because like I told you, when Mecca was talking about the peeing on himself, I would have sat and I would have asked him when it started. When's your earliest memory? Did you have a lot of shame around that? When it happened, what was the punishment? There are so many questions that I would have had for him in that moment that I don't think she was ready to answer. And I don't think that he was ready to like divulge on a deeper level. 8,000 is wild. So many things happening in the chat. Like, yes, I'm sorry, I missed that comment. But I do think that it is crazy to have to divulge all of this on TV and still have people try to change your sexual orientation, tell you that you're unworthy of love, which is probably further proving it in his mind when he reads those comments from people who are trying to be spiteful and stick up for her at his expense. But baby, he might read those comments. And so then we are further proving his own theory about himself. And I hope that he knows that that isn't true. I know he has a world of trauma. And not just him. It's so many people walking around here in the world with all that type of trauma. It really is. And it's really sad. It's so many people who feel like they can't let go of their childhoods, can't let go of their past relationships. And the way you handle it makes a difference, because he's not really, in my opinion, hurting anybody, right? But when I look at the Caitlins and Courtneys of the world, I think for me, the reason why it's hard to be empathetic to them is because they are being mean. And it's rooted in a hatefulness that makes me uncomfortable to watch. When I see the way that Courtney speaks to people, I'm uncomfortable. The way she spoke to Devin, disgusting. The way she spoke to Nick, terrible. I am so glad that she is gone. Because free me from Courtney. Like, Nick, I do what you want to do, but free me from Courtney. She was mean. And it's hard to be empathetic for that. I think with Caitlyn, the emotional distancing when you come on a show like this also doesn't sit well with me. It doesn't. Because if somebody was actually trying to have a real wife, like a real wife, like think Cameron and Michelle type of wife, you are now messing up their experience. And I do believe that Devin wanted his Michelle. I don't think he would have took a woman of color, but I do think that Devin wanted his Michelle, and instead he got stuck with a Caitlyn. And it's been an uphill battle ever since. Treese, I really hope both him and Belle dove deep into therapy after filming ended. I hope so too, for their sake. You want to know what's funny to me? And I don't know if y'all think about this. He is so out of place inside of Seattle. And I see why the couples are being hard on him, is because I think he's out of place. Honestly, when I look at him, the men that I know that act like him are from places like Atlanta. They're from places like New Orleans. I don't see men that act like Mecca living inside of Seattle. And I think that that has to be pretty exclusionary. Like, it's hard to fit in when you act like him as is. But I know, so I used to date him. When I told y'all, I used to date somebody that used to act like him, and I never thought to call him performative. It's so weird that people like experience him that way. I do not see performative. I see hurt that's easily covered with alcohol. And then when the alcohol is in, it's very social and free, and it's probably the lightest he's ever going to feel. But I do not get a sense that he is performative. It's why they're acting like they're performative. So who do you think that they are performative, or do you feel like the people in Seattle feel like he is? He's always lit in social settings. Oh, Kaz. Gotcha. He definitely gives ATL. Yeah, he's boisterous. Thank you. So yes, lad. He gives me New Orleans down. I swear. The men in New Orleans would love him, like the creative artsy side, because what's the street next to Bourbon? Because you go like one block over from Bourbon and there's an arts district. And on that street is a very famous street, and everybody there acts like this. Acts exactly like this. Him and Belle would have a time. Yes. So in the French Quarter, there's Bourbon Street, right? That's where all the bars and things are. And then right there is an arts district where you walk that main street, and it's like all these art exhibits out. I forgot what it's called, but it is in the French Quarter, and you guys are right. So yeah, but anyways, he gives me, he belongs in that environment. He does not belong here. It doesn't. Neither one of them. And then I had so many people be, and this is no shade to y'all over here on YouTube, because I told y'all my people, we're developing our community over here on YouTube. So I appreciate y'all chiming in. But what I found is that YouTube has viewers that aren't very thoughtful, in the way that I've cultivated a very thoughtful audience on TikTok. I'm finding that the challenge is critical thinking on YouTube. And I get this. I told them the difference between the lack of, or being uninhibited versus being performative, and people still have it in their mind that he's performative, so they're slapping that like label on him. When I told y'all earlier that people were calling Sean the R word, it was always on YouTube. Always. And I don't know if it's just become a toxic place full of hateful, spiteful people, but I find, like, over on YouTube, I am struggling with the disconnect between critical thinking and just careless rhetoric around who these people are. Yes, Bay. Thank you so much. YouTube is becoming very similar to Reddit, in that there's a lot of thought put into your conspiracy theories instead of just finding the fact. It's almost like I'd rather believe the worst about these people rather than see the fact. He told me where his trauma comes from, and I still can't draw a straight line from A to B. It's weird to me, and there's a disconnect. YouTube is another version of Facebook sometimes. Lord have mercy. Don't let me end up on that side of things. Lord, I cannot with Facebook. I cannot with the conspiracy theories over there. And it be grandmama spreading the conspiracy theories. I feel like, and then I feel like, because I want to cultivate a certain type of community standard, no offense to anybody, if I ever delete your comment or if I block anybody, I've told y'all that before, that I take great care of my community. And part of that means is I'm responsible for, if I see it, I have to get rid of it, because it's not okay. It's never okay. It's some of the comments are never okay. You coming into a room, can you imagine in real life coming into a room and telling a man who's with his wife he's queer because he paints his nails black? Like, can you imagine you down at the office and your coworker like Sean walks in with his wife and you're like, "Oh, I always thought you had a husband." Do you know how disrespectful that is? But people are quite literally so comfortable saying that online. Treese, I hate that people have been calling him and Sean gay. Like, please, can y'all stop? Can we go on a tangent there, baby? Because the way that pisses me off to no end, the way that I see these men is that neither one feels forced or the need to perform masculinity. They are comfortable with who they are and in who they are. I don't feel that it is fair to slap a label on someone because of where they are on the spectrum when it comes to masculinity and call them out of their name. And I feel like what's become even worse is now we have code words for the word queer, or some type of queer. I don't know what they're, so some people might be calling him straight up gay. Some people might be saying bi. I don't know, but whatever the words are, they're using words instead of like sassy, or he's trying to be the soft one in the relationship. Like, lean into your masculine, zesty. Like, all of those things are implying something, and you know what you're implying when you use those words. And I feel, sweet is another word that I'm seeing. I fear that we have lost the plot, y'all. Being a good husband has nothing to do with how masculine you are or how feminine you are. You can be the most masculine man in the world and not care about your spouse. You can be the ugliest person in the world and adore the wife that you have and literally worship the ground that she walks on. So why are we so, and I'm gonna say the quiet part out loud because I just want to say why we're stuck on it with Sean in particular. How dare you be short, bald, and fat and have the audacity to think you get to talk back to a woman that looks like Nikki? And that is the quiet part. It's not even about anything else that was said, because let's be real, if Idris Elba came over and said the same things that Sean said to y'all, y'all be like, he's so stupid, he played too much, you play too much, babe. I believe that part of the issue is that he's not what you consider to be stereotypically attractive. And I'm not saying that, but I do believe that the audience feels that way. What's crazy is me is Adam has what's crazy to me is Adam has displayed fluidity, and not that anyone, but no one is talking about him. It's always the black man, always the black man. But I was doing some thoughts on that, and I don't know how, do y'all know, okay, I don't know how touchy YouTube is going to be about this topic, but I thought about doing like an evergreen video on the fact that there's a lot that plays into that, from slavery to religion to also to like our very masculine or machismo use of masculinity in music and movies, and how we see ourselves depicted as the form of masculinity. We don't get to be non-traditional masculine. We just don't in our community. We have to be like a very traditional standard view. If you don't act like Eazy and Ice Cube, like what kind of man are you? If you can't relate to the like, even now, I think he's a little bit more comfortable with it, but the way Denzel leans into the fact that he is from the block, the way that, people have this internalized view of masculinity is really, really sad to me. And I think religion plays into that. I really do. I think that that is part of what we're seeing is it plays out in all of our cultural spaces. We don't get to do this or say the same things as Adam. Adam gets to say, I want to have a threesome with Felipe, and we just let it go. Like we just do. Adam gets to joke with Nick about being in a relationship with him, and we don't, cool. I don't know. Labeled aggressive. I do. I just feel like it's cringy to Nikki. No, it's cringy because Nikki doesn't like him, so his jokes are off-putting to her, then off-putting to viewers. But you're right. If she liked him and viewers thought he was fine, the jokes would be flirty. Exactly. Exactly. Because and two, I've said this before. I know y'all don't like this idea, right? But people get to be lustful. This is not a dirty word. This is not 1908, y'all. If he wants to lust after his wife, let him. I don't see when we become, and you can lust after a stranger, God forbid, right? But I do believe that people use that excuse that we just met as if it means anything. Okay, this is what hookup culture literally is built on, but only attractive people, I guess, are expected to partake in hookup culture. So you can't be big, black, and bald and expect hookup culture. Like, I don't understand. Yes, I'm on TikTok and YouTube. So I'm trying to get you guys used to seeing me on YouTube. Eventually, honestly, my honest goal is to just start going live over there. Just move my whole audience with me. Like, I love TikTok, but this is where I need to be for streaming purposes. And slowly but surely, you guys are getting used to the fact that I am on YouTube, I guess, and finding me there because it just makes more sense for me. Yes, China. I'm there. Adam and Marissa smashed night one. And that's how it used to be. I tell people all the time the first 10, 12 seasons is odd for a couple not to. When you buy into this idea that you guys are actually married, not test driving a car, you treat that person like your husband or your wife. And so it is weird that like anybody's shaming anyone for doing that. I'm not going to shame you for sleeping with your husband. That is your prerogative. And I'm also not going to shame you if you don't want to. But I do think if you come on a show like this, hand holding and hugging should be your, like, the expert should ask, are you comfortable hand holding and hugging day one? If not, you cannot be on this show. I feel like that is the bare minimum, because if they had made that a requirement, we wouldn't have had to meet Courtney and we wouldn't have had to meet Caitlyn. The only reason is because we don't have a standard. There needs to be physical interaction at the altar. Oh, what do you mean? You mean like a kiss on the lips? Is that what you meant by that? Because at the altar is very awkward. But like, walking into the ceremony, you have to feel comfortable with your partner. No, just something pure. Yeah. I just feel like you should feel comfortable enough to handhold and hug. Devin does deserve a redo. It was just like Bryce and Zach could do all of their playing, but it was two black men, they would have been shamed and ridiculed to no end. Exactly. And I told y'all, those two are my favorite couple because I don't care about anybody being bisexual. And I guess that's the real difference. For a lot of people, they'll say, I hate the fact that they don't want to say the real thing, right? They don't want to come off as having a problem with the LGBTQ community. But when you say things like, Trinity, I hate the fact that Trinity is with a bisexual man or a gay man. Well, he's never come out as bisexual or gay, so where are you getting that from? But if he was bisexual, he's not gay because he still likes women. So what difference does that make? Like, what difference does that make? I don't see why it matters if he is. And his girlfriend accepts that. Like, I don't have a problem with, I don't have a problem. And it's because I don't have a problem with the community, right? Like, the whole community does not bother me. They're still influenced. Now, that is heavy on that, like heavy on the epidemic of the 80s. It's sad. It's really, really sad. That was a hard time. And it's really sad because so I was born the same year that my cousin passed from that epidemic. And her mom, still to this day, grieves every Christmas season because that's the time that she passed away, and the way that she remembers the nurses and doctors not wanting to touch her or treat her towards the end of her life. Sad. However, neither here nor there. It's crazy the way that people don't just see it as like COVID or anything else in the world, right? Everybody can be exposed to issues, and villainizing men who like other men isn't going to solve anything. It's just not. It's the two of them being so intimate while in committed relationships. Bae, that's fair, but she's not expressed a serious issue with it. So for me, it's like, okay, I wouldn't let my friend do that in front of my partner. I do believe in boundaries in a relationship where my friend can't just do whatever in front of my partner. I get that. But if she hasn't said anything about setting boundaries, then I guess it's okay for their relationship. It just wouldn't be okay for me and my friend to play like that in front of my man. Never would be okay. This reminds me of the conversation that sparked from Insecure about women dating bisexual men. People say some terrible things when it comes to that. This conversation comes up every like 2 months on TikTok. It's terrible. It's terrible. Nobody. We were actually making a case against the thought process that you get to label these men as bisexual who are on Married at First Sight or any other show. If they don't come out as that, do not label them. Also, this is, yeah, I just, this is weird to me. If that was a girl, people would be up in the arm. If that was a girl, people would be up in arms. Hold on, I might have missed a part of that. So Nikki never should have come on this show. 1. 2, I'm glad she's finally giving Sean a chance. 3, she's getting more comfortable with him, so I hope the audience starts to get more comfortable with him. Like, we'll talk about that when we come back sometime this weekend to talk about how she's accepting Sean more and more physically, and I think that's a really good sign for their relationship. Do y'all notice too, like, we're gonna talk about this later, but do y'all notice how comfortable these white couples are talking to the black couples crazy? Because I feel that the way that they talk to Nikki and Sean and about their relationship is out of pocket. If they tell you that they're actually doing better, which we know they are, I guess they just don't know it, but we're seeing the fact that they're not, like, they're taking a short period of time to repair. They're actually working through their communication struggles. They're putting in the time and effort to go out on more dates now than they were at the beginning. And I think the other couples don't see that, but they're assuming that they're lying. Why do you assume that the black couples are lying? Why do you assume that the black couples are performative? Why do you assume that this can't be real? Like, why do you assume that? Adam got pissy. Listen, Adam is a child, okay? I didn't like how Adam only decided to use his vocabulary when talking about Nikki and Sean, because he's a petty one. He's so petty. And like, his feelings were hurt by the fact that he insinuated that he had a low emotional IQ, which I will tell you, that is not the way that you present information. Now that I'm older, I know that it's inappropriate. I had a manager tell me that once. I was in high school and I was doing an internship, and she was like, you know, I think one area that you could work on would be emotional intelligence and your EQ in general. And I think that the delivery could have been better, but is it honest feedbacks? Yes, I do believe that. Her name was Rachel, actually. She was this like white lady in therapy. She was doing a lot of work on herself. So I think that's why she wanted me to work on myself. But interesting, because that's like, at the time, what she was teaching me was the language of corporate speak. In that, she was like, I want you to start asking people about the pictures on their desk. I want you to ask them about their kids. And that's something I don't see you doing. And I think she meant well with training me about professionalism and like social settings, but I think the delivery matters. It really does. Savannah, I love Sean coming for Adam. I don't think he was wrong. I don't think Sean was wrong, but I think delivery just should have been, hey, do you think that you struggle with using your vocabulary to express yourself? Because I hear you say vibes a lot, but I don't know that I would use vibes to describe how I'm feeling about my wife. My wife is precious to me, so I actually say that out loud. She's my rock, she's my world. You know, like, you're descriptive when you describe your person. Vibes is something I use for when I get good food. When I go out, it's a vibe. You know, like, I don't talk about my partner as a vibe though. He was mad. He didn't understand EQ versus IQ. He said, you're telling me I have low IQ. You said intelligence, right? And you know what? Men don't like that. They don't, Treese. They don't like that. But I will say that IQ was him making an inference. When he said it doesn't seem like you have a large enough vocabulary, I could see how he translated that into having a low IQ. But IQ is not just verbal intelligence, right? We know that it's spatial, it's numbers, it's patterns, it's all these other things as a part of that testing. So even then, to do that would be a jump. I would have just said, I have the vocabulary, but I don't choose to use it this way. And that's good enough. And that requires a lot of security, and Adam doesn't have that type of security about himself. And Marissa was just agreeing that vibes are fine. Marissa comes off very slow sometimes, very slow, but we're going to talk about that whole episode because, yeah, then he came at him and his wife's age. We're going to talk about all of it probably tomorrow. If you don't see me back here tomorrow, it's because I'll come back on Sunday or something. But yeah, we're definitely going to talk about each one of these episodes. But as y'all can tell, I'm long-winded. Okay, we got to take our time and really get into the weeds with each couple in each episode. And so, yeah, that is going to come. But Adam was mad. This is Married at First Sight. Welcome in, everybody. If you haven't hit that follow button, make sure that you do. Also, follow me over on YouTube or subscribe over there if you haven't already. That way you get notified when I put out my recaps. I do full recaps over there. My link to my YouTube is actually in my bio. Live is for the long-winded, right? And this isn't even a long live. I'm not even making y'all sit. Like, I've seen people stream, y'all, the more that I'm finding out about Twitch and Kick, I've seen people be on there for like 8 hours a day. I be doing like a little hour and a half, 2 hours. I'd be like, y'all okay with this? Like, people be on Twitch streaming for 8 hours at a time sometimes. Adam's still fine. I will put up with his shenanigans. Phoenix, you by yourself, baby. You by yourself. See, you the ones that be in the back of them white vans. They be picking you up with candy and treats because ain't nobody that fine. That man is worrisome. Worrisome. He's worrisome. His behaviors worry me. He is way too rigid. I definitely feel like something's off. Something's off. See, I thought, okay, so here's what I feel about Adam. Adam's not bad looking. He is the average looking white male to me. To me. I feel that Adam is just tall and athletic in build. But but I do feel like who do I feel like is handsome from this show actually? Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Well, never mind. He tried to get her to say she loves him first. So yeah, I definitely, for Adam, you mean he was trying to get her to say I love you first? Is that what you meant? I don't think Adam's ready for the L word. I don't. I think Adam's, I don't know what Adam got going on, but I don't even think he's really ready for this type of commitment. Oh, Mecca. Oh, Mecca. Okay. Mecca is not ready for that either. It's going to take Mecca a while. And the thing is, I think that she has enough patience to let him figure that out on his own. But I don't think he's ready for her to open that much of a door. I think it would actually push him away even more if she said, I love you. I think if she said, I love you right now, episode 13, he would go running and he would do even more self-sabotaging. I don't feel like Mecca is ready for an I love you. It would scare him. Yeah, everybody on this show needs to work on themselves. Actually, I don't think anybody out here is without. I need to work on myself. I need to build. I need to, there's so much that everybody can work on. But I think we can find love along the way and take them on the journey with us. Because to Michelle's credit, she did say, life is about the journey, the ups and the downs. And you're not always going to be perfect. You're going to have some bad days, some good days, and that's okay. You're just not going to be perfect. Who asked? Sorry, who asked? Ivy. Then he dodged her question about meeting his sister by falling in the water. Adam's weird. Adam's weird. Listen, we'll get into Adam next episode because he has more weird behaviors to come. There's no better way to describe him other than a strange one. Adam is a strange one. We're not going to act like he's not. You know, I love everybody, but that is my brother in Christ from over there. I cannot with Adam. Oh, Mecca asked that. Oh, I must have missed that. Was this episode 13? So Michelle told Cam, let's take a break, and they went on that walk. Yeah. Yeah, Michelle's a good one. She's just great. I think like Belle and Mecca have been awesome as far as a showing overall of their personalities. I like them a lot. I do. I feel like I never know Adam's next move, and that scares me. He should scare you. Adam should scare you. I'm not worried. I'm not worried. Whatever happens to Belle, Belle has a good foundation. Her mother has raised her to be strong, independent, very able to bear a storm or two. And she's well adjusted. I think she will be fine. Hey, Yogi, welcome in, friend. How are you? I do feel like Belle is well adjusted enough that she won't care what Mecca does. Not as much as Tori don't care to allow that boy to play in her face. But I do think she will be okay. I'm not worried. She does give him a lot of grace. And the thing is, too, we don't see 100%, so I'm sure he gives her grace sometimes, too, right? I'm sure that, because producers have an edit that they already know they want to make for you from your storyline starting. And what they'll do is they'll clip and splice once they get the whole season of footage to make the story work with whatever message they're trying to portray. Do not forget that there's a storyboard somewhere that says we have to go back to how Mecca said XYZ here in scene 1. And then here, he's going to bring it up again about his dad, and viewers need to see this. But meanwhile, they're forgetting about people like her and Michelle who are so unproblematic that they're not showing any of their little faults and flaws, right? I think that's what was happening with Sean early on too, but you see they're not even giving them time or energy because when they made his storyboard, his kind of ran out once Nikki started to accept him as her husband. There's no longer any drama to really closely like manipulate. So what are we doing here? We don't care anymore. They're not even getting camera time. Sean and Nikki were all we could talk about episodes 1 through 10. Since then, they don't care. They don't care at all because their storyboard ran out. Once your story is done, they're done with you. We'll show a little clip here of a date, a little clip there, and then move on. It's wherever the hurt is, wherever the trauma is, and then that's where they're going to keep putting like little stickies on their storyboard for you. I enjoyed Mecca showing Belle for her birthday. He pays attention to her. I'm still not sure if he'll admit his feelings for her based on how he keeps talking. No, he won't. This is not enough time for a man like him. Unfortunately, I don't think he knew that coming in. But again, this is something Clara does like videos on here. She was on a season with, oh my gosh, Ryan. She was on a season with Ryan, I think is his name. And she does videos on here, and she said that, you know, you don't know how much you don't know about yourself until you come on reality TV. And so when she said that, it makes a lot of sense. You don't realize how flawed and how rigid your thinking can be and how ridiculous you look until you see yourself play it back. And you're like, I said that. I said that. Did y'all see Sean's apology? Also, I haven't had a chance to tell y'all about the tea. Did y'all see Sean's apology? No? Nobody? It's just me? Oh, dang. Okay. I can't do reality TV at this point in my life because y'all would tear me up. Like, I would do it before I knew how y'all react as an audience. His apology was on his Instagram. Actually, it's on this phone, so I can show you on YouTube. Hold on. let me figure out how to change my background. Y'all be patient with me. I'm not used to the green screen on here. I am not used to green screen on YouTube. It's a little bit different of a setup. But it was his Instagram, and I was going, child, I had so many random posts pop up that day. I could not get around to it. I think that was the day Ray and Michael B. Jordan came out together. And then I had to drop what I was doing to to go and talk about that for a second. There it is. Okay. Ooh, y'all can't see it behind me because I'm in the way. Let me take y'all down, okay? Yeah, Ray, the singer. Where's my husband? She might have found him, y'all. Okay, let me read it to y'all. I apologize. It was my wrongdoing. Full stop. I'm starting to get it now. And I'm truly sorry to my wife and many out there who felt the wrong side of feeling before. Wait, hold on. Who felt the wrong side of feeling before. Okay, that is a typo. He meant, okay, and the many out there who felt the wrong side of this feeling before, I think is what he meant. So know that they'll like, wait a minute, they love correct me. Oh my gosh, let me read that again. Family and friends who love me tell me about myself. So know that they love and correct me. My village keeps me accountable, and this is what I've learned since getting married. I gaslit my wife. That he did not. So I want to take that back. He did not. He don't even know what that means. So we're not gonna say he gaslit her. He did not. He lied. I said words, tried to backtrack, and did not own up to what I said. I was big wrong. This kind of behavior can be triggering for many people who have been put in a pressured position to please their partner. Hundreds of people who have expressed to me, oh, I'm sorry, how they felt this way with past or current partners and traumatic impacts that can stunt relationship growth. This may happen, but I have to own that I caused that discomfort, and I will turn in a new direction for more ownership behavior going forward. Wait until your partner is ready. So yeah, that was his I know you lying, Barbie, but yeah, that was his comment in response to the whole issue. It was so gross in a towel. I didn't think it, well, okay, no, I didn't think it was gross. I think that, like, for me, it was just, to me, right? It was a simple issue of the coerciveness. He just shouldn't have said anything after she said no. Period. He should have said done 3 sentences before he said done. So I think this had already been done because it couldn't get published as fast. I want y'all to remember this show gets, I don't know, because in a future episode, I'm going to bring this up later. She has a book when she went, no, this was episode 12. Let me get my facts together. Episode 12, she holds a book in her hand and she was like, oh, you have a book. He's already written a book. So I'm sure this one was already in the works and he just chose to release it with his publisher at the same time that this aired for the publicity about his book. You think it was all a part of his plan to be famous? Yeah. Yeah, he did. He's always been an author. That's what it tells me. Not saying that he didn't want to use this for a reason, but yeah. Y'all, I think I'm getting tired because I feel myself becoming brain dead. Oh, I didn't eat. That's what it was. My blood sugar's probably dropping. All right, y'all. I hope everyone on YouTube, thank you so much for joining me, guys. Thank you so much for the people watching me on their TVs and their phones. Thank you so much. We're going to get used to being over on YouTube a little bit more, guys. And then I'm going to see you guys all back here soon, sometime this weekend. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your night. Good night, y'all. Thank you to my TikTok folks for allowing